6:30, we got UNC traveling to number 11 Notre Dame. This was circled as a huge game to start the season. It was possibly going to be like top 10 opponents facing off. Obviously, UNC has had a disappointing season so far. Notre Dame favored 3.5 points on NBC, and while Notre Dame hasn't had the season they've wanted, right, barely escaping some teams they probably shouldn't have, they're still only a one-loss team, and that one loss is to Cincinnati. Obviously, if you are Notre Dame, you would love Cincinnati to go undefeated down the stretch. See, I'm torn. Honestly, I think obviously you'd want that because you'd want Cincinnati to look like the best team possible. But on the other hand, you'd have to have some serious bad things happen to all other Power 5 teams for you to get in, right? Because, let's just consider it. Georgia and Cincinnati are, if we consider Georgia a lock and you hope Cincinnati gets in, that leaves 2 spots. And the idea of a Big Ten team not having 0 or 1 losses, Big 12 team not having 0 or 1 losses, or I think I could see Oregon end up losing a game down the stretch, but you think Wake Forest is going to lose 2 down the stretch? I just don't see it. Or if Pitt doesn't lose a I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like Notre Dame's in a bad position. They put themselves not in the best position to make the playoffs, but stuff could happen. But if you're a Penn State fan, if you're any fan of a 2-loss team, and you're hoping they can somehow make the playoffs still, which is a stretch, but okay, you're rooting for UNC, right? You got to. Sam Howell went 17-26, threw for 154 last week, 2 touchdowns, a pick, 2 rushing touchdowns though. Ty Chandler had 18 carries on the ground, 104, 2 touchdowns. And on the bright side, if you're UNC, you seem to have found your running back. You've been searching for him ever since Javonte Williams and what's the other guy? Michael Carter the second. See, I think it's Javonte Williams because he's actually doing well in the NFL. Just Michael Carter went to the Jets, so he's obviously not doing well. Josh Downs had 11 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. Notre Dame's coming off a win against USC, a game that they shouldn't have really won that one. If USC was playing for anything, honestly, they looked like about as disinterested as you could out there on that football team. Notre Dame likely wins that game. Jack Cohn went 20-28, threw for 189 yards, to a touchdown and a pick. Kyron Williams had 25 carries for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. The game we were finally expecting out of Kyron Williams. We were expecting that all year long. He looked so good last year, and he absolutely hasn't done much, honestly. Lorenzo Styles Jr., 3 catches for 67 yards. UNC has obviously had a bad time against Notre Dame. You look at it, 1-19 against Notre Dame all time. If you exclude the vacated game, it's a 9-game win streak for Notre Dame. And UNC has not had an official win against Notre Dame since 1960, and they have never won in South Bend. So it's going to be interesting. It's fighting an uphill battle for your UNC, but a lot of that doesn't matter because you have Mac Brown as your head coach. You have Sam Howell as your quarterback. And 2 of those things make you stay in almost every football game. I'm going to give Notre Dame to win this one, but I think UNC covers that 3.5 point spread. I think it's a 3-point victory by Notre Dame.